Hello and welcome everyone to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. Today we're going to be going over a deck I've been kind of practicing with a lot offline, kind of the deck I'm going to be taking going forward here, because I've had a lot of fun with it and it's, you know, fairly inexpensive, save for a couple cards that I got lucky with, but Fire King Tri-Brigades. This is probably like the second best version of the Fire King deck that's out there. The best version obviously being the Snake Eyes version, but I don't really feel like dropping that much money on Snake Eye cards at the moment. Maybe later maybe later on down the line. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. I've been practicing a lot with this offline. Haven't really been able to go to too many locals with it just because, you know, weather and feeling a little bit of illness. But here, just going to show you guys the deck. It's really good. These two engines synergize really well with each other. And honestly, there's a lot that you can kind of go with. A lot of flexibility in terms of the plays that are available for you. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on with the deck profile. We've got double Sacred Fire King Garunix. Garunix is kind of one of the main cards that makes this deck go. Whenever a fire monster is destroyed, you can special summon this card from the graveyard if it was there, or from the hand, even if it wasn't. So usually you'll be adding it off of Fire King Island just so that you can special summon the Garunix and pop a few cards from deck over into graveyard. When it's special summoned, you can destroy a card from field, hand, or deck. So really good. A lot of the times the thing that you'll also be destroying with, not so much Fire King Island, but also Fire King High Avatar Kirin. Kirin you can special summon by destroying a fire monster in your hand or field, and then his graveyard effect is actually really good. If it's destroyed by card effect, you can special summon one Fire King monster from the graveyard and then destroy one monster on the field, so non-targeting destruction. Good for clearing out some boards, good for special summoning itself. Bring back one of your Fire King monsters from the graveyard to make some plays happen. And then finally we have the triple Legendary Fire King Ponix. Ponix is the main starter of the deck. Whenever it's no more special summon, you can add one Fire King spell from deck to hand. So it's our main starter, level 1 fire with 500 attack. So there's a couple link monsters that we can go into if we don't want to leave them out, if we have other ways to special summon it. It's got a lot of really great plays. It is kind of our main recycler because when Fire King Ponix is destroyed during the next standby phase, you add it back to the hand. So it's a great way to recycle cards. So you'll always want to be bringing it out. And then for some certain one-ups, you don't have to play Rank Bali. I just like having options on there. Rank Bali is if a... Let me actually read this, make sure I do it right. If a face-up Fire King monster is destroyed by card effect, you can special summon this card from the hand. When a spell or trap card is activated, you can destroy one other. You can negate the activation and destroy one other fire monster you control or in hand. So really good at kind of negating some stuff. It's not required though. You can easily cut this one out. I do recommend you at least play one Fire Avatar Barong. Whenever it's destroyed during the next standby phase, you can add a Fire King monster from deck to hand. So it's a good way to add a Kirin back over to your hand so you can get some of your plays going on your opponent's turn. Allows you to play on your opponent's turn. And then another one I recommend you at least play one of, Fire King Avatar Arvada. Arvada is a negator like Rank Bali, but this one is a monster effect. But when it's destroyed by card effect, you can special summon one fire monster from graveyard onto the field. So it's a good way of bringing out some of our other fire monsters, not just your fire avatars, your Fire Kings, but some of our Tri-Brigade monsters as well. The only downside is that their effects are going to be negated, so you won't be able to get much of the... you won't be able to do the banishing effect for Kit or Fractal, but it allows you to get another body onto the field. Alright, so that's going to be the entirety of our Fire King monster lineup, and then for our spells, we are on the triple Sanctuary, double Island, 1 Skyburn, and then 1 Circle of the Fire Kings. Fire King Sanctuary allows you to play the field spell directly from deck to the field. Fire King Island allows you to destroy a monster to search for a Fire King monster. Most of the time you'll either be popping something like Barong or Fractal or Kit to get Garunix and get the Garunix play going. Skyfire is a great way to kind of pop cards on the field, non-targeting. And then Circle of the Fire Kings, it's a good way to kind of play around pesky hand traps like Infinite Impermanence. Target a fire monster you control and 1 fire monster in the graveyard. Destroy the one you do. Special summon the other one. You can only activate 1 of these per turn, but it's a good way of bringing back, like I said, not just a Fire King monster like a Ponix in the graveyard, or a Garunix or not a Garunix, but a Kieran in the graveyard. But you can also bring back any of your Tri-Brigade monsters and get some of your Fire King monsters effects to go off. So that is the Fire King portion of it. Next part up is going to be the Tri-Brigade portion. So the most important Tri-Brigade monsters here to play are going to be Fractal and Kit. I've been experimenting around with 1 less Kit. Right now at the moment I like 3, but you can honestly go 2 and 3, 2 and 3, whichever order you want. But those are the ones that I definitely recommend you play multiples of the most, just because their fire attribute synergizes so well with the rest of the Fire King lineup. Fractal, you can send it from hand or field to the graveyard to send a Tri-Brigade monster from deck to the graveyard, so it's a good way to kind of start things out. 1900 body, and then they all have the effects of you can banish any number of Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters in the graveyard, and special summon a Beast Warrior, Winged Beast Link monster from the extra deck with a Link rating equal to the number of the monsters banished, but you can only use Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast for Link materials for the rest of the turn. So these 3 are great. Because you can pop one of them off with Island or Garunix. Usually I like destroying Kit with either one of those 2, just so you can get your Tri-Brigade plays going. And finally, double Nerval, 1 Karas, and 1 Revolt. Kind of your standard Tri-Brigade package there. Really good. The biggest downside that I know a lot of people kind of look at for the Tri-Brigade portion is that you dedicate so much deck space and extra deck space for it, but I really like it just because it gives me a good amount of flexible plays. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go to our non-engine portion of it. Triple Fire Formation Tankies, searching out any of the Beast Warriors. For me, I mainly use this as an Ash bait, especially if I already have Fire King Island in hand. Just to get the Ash negate and then just go off with Fire King Island. But if they let this go off, you're usually going to be searching for Fractal. And then for our hand traps, we're running Triple Ash, Triple Nibiru, Triple Imperm, 1 DD Crow. DD Crow we can search out with Shurag, which is why we play it. And also it's a good way of kind of using some of your monster's effects. I know anytime I kind of get Ash Blossomed, whenever I'm trying to do something, whether it's searching out with Fire King Island or whatnot, I see that I could just play DD Crow, banish the Ash Blossom, use one of my Tri-Brigade monsters to banish, and then kind of go off for more link plays there. So it's really good. 41 cards. Again, you can cut out a Kid, you can cut out a Fractal, you can cut out even Rank Bali to get it to an even 40. I've been playing around with 41 and I've actually really enjoyed it a lot. Alright, time for the extra deck, and this is the part of the deck that I'm not quite satisfied with yet. I was supposed to get a Axis Go Talker in the mail today. Unfortunately, the person who was shipping it kind of had some delays, so now it won't be coming in for like another week, but the extra deck is still tinkering around with it. So this isn't going to be final, but just kind of what I'm playing right now. In terms of Blink Once, I've got a Scareclaw Lightheart, Salamangreat Almirage, Link Karibo. The Almirage and the Link Karibo are basically there in case like some of my initial Tri-Brigade plays get stopped, especially if my hand is bad and all I have is a Nerval or a Kit. at least with that, with these two, I have the option of like summoning Kit, linking off into either All Mirage with Kid, or if I have Nerval, link Karibo, and then getting their effects. And then the Scareclaw Lightheart is in case, like, again, your opening isn't really necessarily the best, but as long as you have like a Beast Warrior or something else, you can banish one of those off to get Scareclaw, and then you can go off into one of your many Link 2s that you have in here. In terms of the Link 2s, get that penny out of the way. Ancient Warriors Oath Double Dragon Lords. Currently playing 2 for Jeet. This one more than likely going to get cut down. A Bearbrum. A Hida for the mirror match. And then, of course, probably the most expensive card I have in this deck, SP Little Knight. Again, whenever you link off with your to go into Scareclaw, you'll at least have access to SP Little Knight just about every play. For Jeet, helps extend a lot of your plays. Special summoning out like Ponix or one of your other Beast Warrior monsters to kind of expand on there and keep going. Hida for like a Fire Mirror match or a Fire King. For a Fire King mirror match, because you'll be special summoning out a lot of monsters with that. And Double Dragon Lords, in case you want to go for a more kind of, what's the word I'm thinking of? If you want to, like, you don't have too many options. There are times where you can basically end on Double Dragon Lords, SP Little Knight, and you basically have 2 interruptions. Non-targeting destruction. Well, targeting with SP Little Knight, sorry. But Double Dragon Lord, bounce. So they both target. My apologies on that. But targeting non-destruction, though, which is good. And then for our Link 4s, we've got Double Shurag, and then Appaloosa. This deck can make Appaloosa so easily. You can always end on a board with an Appaloosa set, or with an Appaloosa, one other strong Link 2, and then like a Tri-Brigade Revolt. It's pretty good. Multiple negates with Appu, among other things. Shurag, banishing, and then usually you'll go into it with Revolt, and then one of your main extenders actually when you start off, because once you link up with it and one of your other Tri-Brigade monsters, you can search for any level 4 or lower, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast, so you can go into a Ponix, or you can go into DD Crow, whatever it is you want. And then for our Xyz, we've got an Abyss Dweller. This one might also get cut out. I'm not entirely sure how prevalent graveyard effects are going to be this format. I know Fire King has quite a few of them, so this is decent against that. But I know the main reason why I was playing it earlier, when I was first building this deck back in December, a little bit before the ban list was revealed, was mainly for the Tier Element matchup. Dingirsu, just a good generic level 8 to go into, kind of stopping any opponent, just sending to the graveyard. It's a good way to clear out. And then one Garunix Eternity, just being able to blow up the field on your opponent's turn is pretty awesome, because a lot of you're not really seeing too many negates go up there, so just one board wipe can put your opponent at a big disadvantage. Just don't bring it out against Unchained. For the side deck, for spells, I've got Droplets, Talents. These are just generically really good. Forbidden Droplet is actually, I feel like, it's going to be pretty strong in this format. For board clearers, Lightning and Harpies. Might switch those out for evenly matches. We'll kind of see how it goes. And then Triple Droll. This usually always goes in. I take out some engine. I take out, like, some of the hand traps that don't match up well. Usually Nibiru. Double Pranker Tops. Very, very good. Great way to kind of help clear boards, help clear away some troublesome cards like Fenrir. And then Double Ghost Spell. I think it's really good against certain matchups. So yeah, that is currently my Fire King deck profile. Like I said, I really like this version of the deck, and you know, some more tinkering around here. There's going to be a lot of edits once I get some extra deck cards in the mail, so hopefully that's on the way. And you know what? Hopefully we get some good results of this in the upcoming regional format, or upcoming regional season. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Take care.